Hey everyone, it's Kino here. Welcome to these new sessions where you get the chance to practice with me. This is the #1 request that I've gotten from all of my subscribers. Thanks so much for subscribing, is that you want to practice with me. So this is my new format video where I'm going to be sharing short and pretty simple and accessible yoga practice videos. So leave me a comment, let me know if this is something you want to hear from me, if you're liking where we're going with this, if you want to continue to practice with me. So start off in a comfortable seated position. We're going to initiate each of these practice spaces with the sacred sound Om. Now this is a non-religious sound that's meant to open up your heart and really your mind to the spiritual essence of the practice. And we'll start and end each of these sessions with that. Come to a comfortable seated position on your yoga mat. Place your hands in prayer. Nice big inhale, and exhale the sound Om together with me. Om. And with that, we've set the sacred intention of the practice. So today, before we get started, I'm going to talk to you about what constitutes yoga practice, since you'll be practicing with me. What constitutes a yoga practice is really comprised of your intention to go on that inner journey, to use these tools and techniques that I'm going to be sharing with you to start off your life according to the yoga path, which means that you want to live a more peaceful life. You want to become a better person, and you want to use the techniques of yoga to make your body more healthy, your mind more stable and calm, and your spirit more free. Today's practice is going to start off with the simple and foundational tools called the sun salutations. These sun salutations are a way to ignite the internal fire and heat. Now, the second element of practice, more than your intention to live a more peaceful life, one breath at a time, is actually to find this element of discipline and dedication in your practice. So I want you to bear that in mind when we get going through the sun salutations, that there will be a little bit of difficulty. You may find yourself sweating, you may find your heat coming from the inside out, and that's exactly what you want to happen, because there's this element of discipline. And this is the Sanskrit word for this is called tapas. And not to scare you away with this sort of Indian terminology, but the idea of tapas is the idea that you're willing to, go through things. You're willing to generate internal heat. You're willing to sweat a little bit. You're willing to let your muscles stretch and strengthen along the way of getting your mind stronger and more calm. So we'll be cultivating that internal fire and heat, but using coordination of breath with movement. That's the essence of the Ashtanga Yoga method, which is what my training is based in. So when you're ready, we're going to go ahead and get started on the front of your mat. Starting off at the front of your mat, we're going to take this nice and easy. Remember, you don't need to be strong or flexible or ready to get started. These are the really basic movements that'll light that internal fire and heat through your whole body, warming you up from the inside out. We'll start with the basic and then move up progressively. Inhale for the first breath. Raise your hands above the head, squeezing the elbows towards each other, gazing down the bridge of the nose, upwards towards the thumbs. Then exhale, pivot from your hip joints, send the hips back, folding forward and down. Leave your hands on the ground and reach the top of the head towards the ground, forehead to your shins. Inhale, send the center of the chest forward in space, and then exhale, you're going to step back, hold the plank position for a moment. You're going to hold the plank position just for a moment, then inhale and exhale. Nice easy version of the push-up called Chaturanga Dandasana. You're going to go all the way to the floor. Then from the floor, pause for a moment and inhale, roll forward to upward facing dog, lifting your chest up and forward and see if you can get your thighs off the ground. And then exhale, roll back, downward facing. In downward facing dog, take a moment and make sure that your feet are hips width apart, your hands are shoulder width apart, and suck the belly in. We'll stay here for 5 breaths. 1, 2, keep pressing through the heels while you reach out through the fingers. 3, 4, and 5. Look forward and inhale. Step your feet forward between the hands, and you can take as many steps as you need. Lift your chest, look up. Exhale, fold forward, go down. Inhale, stand up. Rise up through the center line. Press your palms, reach high. Exhale, Samastitihi. So you might notice the sound of my breath. I'm inhaling and exhaling with a deep, resonant breath that it fills you up with air and also fills you up with prana. So you want to seal your lips, saying the sound sa as you inhale, ha as you exhale. But let the power of the breath come from the inner body. If you want a little more instruction on that, check out my other instructional videos on how to do that deep breathing with sound. We're gonna go again for the sun salutation A, Surya Namaskar A. Inhale, the first breath, arms up, look up. Exhale, pivot from your hips, send the hips back in space, fold, go down. Doesn't matter if you can't touch, just go as far as you can. Inhale, chest up and forward, and then exhale, step back to plank. Nice strong shoulders in plank. And this time, exhale, lower down to chaturanga. See if you can keep your chest off the ground. Inhale, roll up to upward facing, and roll the shoulders forward and gaze towards the nose. Exhale, downward facing. Staying here for 5 breaths. Again, suck the belly deeply inside. Saw as you inhale. Ha as you exhale. Keep steady breathing. Hear and feel the resonance and the power of the breath. Let your thighs be real firm. Pressing down through the base of the big toes. Attune your attention to the inner body, to that inner vibration. Switch the gaze forward and inhale. Step the feet between the hands. Lift your chest, look up. Exhale, fold forward, go down. Inhale, come on up. Palms above the head. Exhale, Samastitihi, back to standing. Samastitihi is this equal standing point with the arms by the side. No effort, except along the central axis of the body. So it's that sort of equal effort that brings you into the center line. We'll do it again. Inhale, hands above the head, reach high. Exhale, fold forward, go down. Inhale, look up. Exhale, step back. Hold the plank for a moment and Chaturanga Dandasana. Inhale, upward facing. Deep breath and really lift your spine as you move into upward facing. Exhale, downward facing. Sucking the belly deeply in. Long, steady breathing. And remember, if you want any breakdowns of each of those individual poses, you can check out my other shorter instructional videos. You can check those out and spend a little time working on the technique. But right now we're going through cultivating that internal fire. Keep the pelvic floor engaged, the belly sucked in, the shoulders rolling open. And after about 5 breaths, switch the gaze forward and inhale. Come on forward between your hands. Lift your chest. Exhale, fold forward, pull in your ribs as you go down. Inhale, come on up. Rise up through the center line. Exhale, back to standing. If you've been doing well so far, we're going to do 2 more of the sun salutation A. If you felt like you could hold that push-up position called Chaturanga Dandasana, we're going to see if we can jump back directly into the pose. So let's give that a shot. If it was too much for you, you're welcome to continue modifying. Go at your own pace. As you do these regularly, they'll get a little better. Inhale, rise up through the center line, palms press. Exhale, pivot from the waist. As you fold into the hip joints, pulling the belly in. Inhale, chest up and forward, and then you press the shoulders, make sure your palms are flat, little bend in the knees, and exhale, Chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing, lifting the chest. Exhale, roll over your toes, downward facing. Now when you're moving from upward facing to downward facing, there are a couple of key things to think about. Try to keep your thighs off of the ground. Try to roll over both toes at the same time. Avoid leading with your right or your left side, or you could create a little bit of imbalance in your sacrum. You're going to make sure that you move equally out of power with your shoulders and out of power with your core. Even here in downward dog, you want to distribute the work between your hands and your feet while centering the pose deep in the inner body by pulling in from the inner space behind your pubic bone. Settle your mind into that inner sensation. One more deep breath. And as you exhale, look forward. We're going to jump forward this time. Bring your feet together so that you can squeeze those knees together. Press from your shoulders. Look forward and inhale. Jump forward. Lift your chest. Look up. Exhale. Fold. Go down. Inhale. Come on up. All the way up. Samastitihi. Back to standing. And one more. Inhale. Raise your hands above the head. And this is called in Sanskrit Ekam, the first breath. Dwe, the second breath, fold forward, go down, pivoting from the hip joints. Inhale, shoulders forward, sucking the belly in, and now we'll go for that little jump. Exhale, Chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing, and exhale, downward facing. Nice steady breathing. So in the Ashtanga Yoga method, we've got 3 things that will found every practice. The first is the posture, the asana. Now we're in downward facing dog. And the second is the drishti, the gaze, the focal point. And here in the focal point, we're gazing towards the navel, but many people, we can't see the navel or the belly button, in which case you can gaze gently towards your knees. And the third tool in the Ashtanga Yoga method is the breath. So remember to keep your breath steady and calm. Nice inhalation and nice exhalation. Keep the breath even and equal in measure and pace. Keep the belly sucked in. And switch the gaze forward, press from the shoulders, bring your feet together, and inhale, jump forward, lift your chest. Exhale, fold forward and down. Inhale, come on up. Exhale, Samasthiti, come on back to standing. We're moving on to Surya Namaskar B. It's going to be a little faster, and we're going to add in 2 more movements. We're going to add in Utkatasana, or the chair pose, and Virabhadrasana, or Warrior 1. So we'll go through it slowly on the first one, and then we'll build up to a little more of a flowing pace. Remember to modify the push-up position if it's too much for you to hold. Take it easy and let this practice become part of your lifestyle. We'll try to do it all in one go. So moving from Utkatasana, the first of Surya Namaskar B, you're going to bend your knees, squeezing the knees together. Please look down and see that the base of the big toes touching. So if you start off with the feet apart and you squeeze the knees together, it's not safe for the knees. So base of the big toes together, knees down, pivot from the hips. Start off with your hands in prayer, and then inhale, hands off, gazing at the thumbs. Exhale, fold into the hips and straighten the legs to fold forward and down. Inhale, chest up and forward, belly sucks in, firm the ribs, and exhale, chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing. Exhale, push from the shoulders, downward facing. Now you're going to turn the left foot out until the left heel plants on the ground for a better foundation. Then inhale, step your right foot forward, aligning your right heel with the left arch. Then send your right knee over the ankle, come up onto your fingertips. With a deep inhalation, lift your torso and rise up through the center line, gazing at the thumbs. And then exhale, hands to the ground, spin your left foot off, step the right one back. Exhale, chaturanga again. Inhale, upward facing, and exhale, downward facing. Okay, we're gonna move on to the left side. Step the right foot in, planting that right heel down. Then inhale, left foot forward, and align the left heel with the right arch. Then send your left knee down and over the ankle. Come up onto your fingertips. Suck the belly in, engage the pelvic floor. And inhale, raise your arms above your head, all the way up. And then exhale, go down. Spin the right foot forward, left foot back. Exhale, chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing, deep breath. Exhale, downward facing. So now you made it through the warrior poses. We're gonna stay here in downward facing dog for a little bit. 5 breaths. 1, steady breathing. 2, 3, 4, and 5. Look forward, press from your shoulders, bring the feet together, suck the belly in. When you jump, I want you to engage the abs and the shoulders. Inhale, shoulders and abs to control the landing. Lift your chest, look up. Exhale, fold forward and down. Bend the knees, keep the knees bent, hands in prayer. Then inhale, straighten the arms. And exhale, come all the way back to standing. That was 1 Surya Namaskar B. You might feel internal heat, fire. I know I'm getting a little more sweaty after rolling through Surya Namaskar B. We're gonna do 2 more of them. Pace yourself, try to coordinate each breath with each movement. If you need an extra breath, allow yourself to take that extra breath just as you're learning them. Okay, here we go. Bend your knees. Inhale, raise the arms, gazing upwards towards the thumbs. Exhale, fold forward, straightening the legs and down. Inhale, chest up and forward. Suck the belly in, round the back a little, press from the shoulders, bend your knees, and chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing, and exhale, downward facing. Inhale, left foot down, right foot forward in one fluid movement. Rise up through the center line, gazing at the thumbs. Exhale, hands to the floor. Slow, steady chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing. Exhale, downward facing. Okay, to the left side. Inhale, left foot forward. Rise all the way up. And exhale. Come on back down. Chaturanga Dandasana. Inhale, upward facing. And exhale, downward facing. Press from the shoulders. Settle into the pose. Deep inhale. And when you exhale, sink back into the hips. Gaze towards the navel. Steady inhale. And steady exhale. Deep breathing will help calm the mind and stimulate that internal fire, the deep purification, and that really makes the yoga practice work. One more breath. And switch the gaze forward. Inhale, jump forward, pressing from the shoulders. Look up. Exhale, fold forward and down. Bend your knees. Inhale, hands rise up, straightening the elbows. Exhale. Come on back to standing. One more, and we're gonna go right into it. Bend your knees, inhale, raise the arms, exhale, pivot into the hip joints, straighten the legs, and down. Inhale, chest forward, and exhale, Chaturanga Dandasana. Inhale, upward facing, exhale, downward facing. Left foot down, inhale, right foot forward, rise up through the center line. Find your balance and exhale, nice and slow, chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing. Exhale, downward facing. Okay, the left side. Inhale, left foot forward. Press through your legs for foundation. And exhale, back through the center line. Fold, chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing. Exhale, downward facing. Okay, catch your breath. I'm gonna catch mine. Deep, steady breathing. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Good, look forward, press from the shoulders, feet together, bend your knees. Inhale, jump forward. Look up, exhale, fold forward, go down, bend your knees, inhale, come on up, and exhale, return to standing. Samastitihi. Pause for a moment in Samastitihi, close your eyes, feel the inner body, feel the heat and fire moving through the body, and then slowly exhale, sink down, come to a seated position. And for these 3 poses, we're gonna start off with the 3 traditional closing postures in the Ashtanga Yoga method. This is gonna turn that internal heat and fire that's moving in your body and bring it into that original intention that we started the practice with. So remember, you started the practice with the intention not just to, stretch the body, but really to keep yourself aligned both with that internal purification, but also how to live a more peaceful life. So first thing, take a comfortable cross-legged position. If this is uncomfortable for you, like if your knees are all the way up here, I want you to stay right there and just hold onto your elbows behind your back like this, okay? Otherwise, it might be possible to close the knee joint and spiral into half lotus, keeping the knee joint closed, spiral all the way up into full lotus. Again, if you want more instruction on how to safely get into that, check out my other video on how to do Padmasana or the lotus pose, or even the half lotus pose. So we're holding on to the elbows. For those of you who can comfortably hold the elbows, you may be able to reach around and bind your Padmasana. Otherwise, just hold the elbows, and that's working that same rotation. Inhale, suck the belly in, and then exhale, fold forward, moving your shoulders forward and your chin towards the ground. Traditionally, it's 10 breaths here as you suck the belly in. Gaze at the tip of the nose, steady breathing from the inner space of the pelvis. Remember, don't force this part of the practice, just be. You've already put in the work. This is just the integrative part of the practice to seal it all in so that you can take the deeper lesson of yoga into your life. And inhale, pivot all the way up, take your first 2 fingers together. This is called Yoga Mudra, and it will turn your fingers kind of into a prayer. So first 2 fingers together where the pad of the thumb and the index finger come together. Don't press too hard or you'll block it, and then you just allow your hands to turn out. And from wherever you are, you're going to take the hands onto the sort of outer edges of the knees, chin down, gaze at the tip of the nose. Avoid closing the eyes or you might start to zone out. Remember, yoga is always about tuning in. So the belly sucks in and breathe deeply and firmly. Steady breathing. Sucking the belly in, follow each inhalation, follow each exhalation. Elongate your breath, so you elongate inhalation and exhalation. Feel your breath like the ocean tide, like the inflowing and the outgoing tide, and let your whole body resonate with its power. And now we're ready for Uplutihi, the last pose. Lift your knees up, and that's true whether your feet are crossed or on the floor, or whether you're in the full lotus pose. Take your hands forward of your hips, and even though you might feel like you can't lift your body off the ground, if you're able to do those Chaturanga Dandasanas in the sun salutations, I bet you've got the strength, or you'll get it soon. I couldn't do this when I started, so let's just do our best for 10 breaths. Think about pushing from your shoulders and pull up from your core. And suck the belly in. And remember, it's a lean forward. So inhale, lean forward into the arms and push from the shoulders. 1, suck the belly in. 2, 3, and remember, just lift the hips. You can leave your feet on the ground if your feet are crossed, and just keep pushing. Don't get discouraged. 4, I think I might have lost count. 5, we're gonna stay for 10. 6, just keep pushing. Don't give up. Be stronger in body and mind. 7, 8, suck the belly in. You can do it. 9, don't give up. Keep pushing. Lift a little higher for the last one. A little higher, almost there. Don't quit. And 10. Exhale, slowly down. Now, slowly release your lotus. And then step back all the way to Chaturanga Dandasana one last time. Exhale, lower down. Inhale, roll forward to upward facing. Exhale, down. Look forward. Step forward, crossing the feet. And slowly lie all the way down. Close your eyes for a few moments. And as you're here, resting, bring your mind into the inner vibration. Let go of all muscular effort. Let go of your mind's constant stream of thoughts by bringing your attention gently into your breath. Feel the heartbeat, feel the respiration, and feel the seed of awakening that you plant in your heart. And after a few breaths of rest, gently move your fingers and toes, bend the knees and the elbows, pause for a moment, and feel the vibration in your heart. Feel it as the seed of your own worthiness, your own happiness. That the yoga practice is not trying to replace something, but instead just helping you tune into the greatness and the power of your inner being, the fullness of your potential, that's already there resting as a divine spark of creation in your heart. All you really have to do is say yes to it. Slowly pull the knees into your chest, squeeze them in, roll over onto the right side, and come all the way up to a comfortable seated position. So these are the sun salutations, where you take the first step in cultivating the internal fire and heat along building the purification aspects of the practice. The fire and heat are also representative of the light of awareness, and I hope you'll see that you don't need to do anything super fancy to get the benefits of yoga. You don't need to make crazy handstands, really deep back bends. The sun salutations themselves are a complete practice, and this is the first step down the journey of the Ashtanga Yoga path of increased light and awareness in your body, and the experience of peace and happiness in your heart, and the experience of a clear and strong mind. I hope you're inspired to practice yoga every day. Thank you so much for joining me. We're going to end with one last Om. Placing the hands together. Big inhale. Om.